Next up, we're going to have Brandon Brooks, who's running for District 11 delegate.
Hooray, Brandon!
All right, good evening, everybody. My personal philosophy has always been every individual has the right to live their life however they see fit, as long as they're not hurting anybody. Is there anyone here who feels that they actually have that right? Well, is there anyone here who actually feels that that right is not infringed upon? That's what I thought. Now, a few years ago, the Republican-controlled Congress passed the USA Patriot Act. Is anyone here a fan of that particular piece of legislation? I think it was last month, 2 months ago, the Democratic-controlled Congress voted to renew this act. The Democrats, the self-proclaimed champions of individual liberty. It's a fraud. Now, I'm not saying that all Republicans and all Democrats are bad. I happen to know quite a few on both sides that are indeed champions of individual liberty and individual sovereignty. Now, in this next election, in November, or in September for those of you in the two major parties, you cannot trust someone just because they have an R or a D next to their name. You know this. Which means you have a duty. It is your job, not MSNBC's job, not CNN's job. It is your job to research these candidates and make sure that they are true champions of liberty. Personal responsibility. Now, we have a two-front war that we're fighting here politically. We have to change Congress. We have to put liberty candidates in Congress to stop the federal regulations from trickling down into your pocket and your life. However, what most people don't think about is we have another front to fight in Annapolis. Your state legislatures have the power to protect you from Washington. You need to tell your candidates for delegate and for state senate that they need to support Maryland's 10th Amendment rights to turn to Washington and say, no, we will not comply. Once they do that, once you have a state legislature that turns to Washington and says, we won't comply with the Real ID Act. We will not comply with the Patriot Act. Maryland will truly be free.
Thanks a bunch, Brandon. Next up, we're going to have Rick Safrey, who's running for delegate in District 45.
Hey, thank you, Robin. Hey, I appreciate y'all coming out today. It's a beautiful day. You could have been anywhere having a beer at the bar for happy hour, but you chose to come out here today to represent your stand for liberty. Liberty is not dead. It is in your heart. It is in your mind, just like it is in mine. I took it upon myself after much convincing and cajoling of my wife to, let me go for this. I'm running, as Robin said, in District 45.
I have some serious questions I want to ask the audience. Can I borrow $40,000 from somebody? Thank you. Pat, if you give me $40,000, I promise to do the following things for you. I will come over and beat up your neighbors, whether or not you like them.
Sounds good.
I will take care of you whenever you're sick, but I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'll give most of that money you gave me to somebody you really don't like or who doesn't need the money. Is that something a good plan?
That sounds like a raw deal, Justin. We got the good printing.
Yeah, and you can print my money for me. And then just print me more when I run out. I like that idea. These are the people that we have running our country right now. I don't understand it. I don't understand how we get to the position that we are. We pay attention, but it seems that the people that vote for these clowns don't. It is our job to educate them. It is our job to show them what liberty means and to show them what responsible people can do in a responsible country where we take care of ourselves, we take care of our neighbors because it's the right thing to do, And not because our government forces us to, tells us to, or takes our money and does it for us because we don't feel like being responsible. I don't understand what's so difficult about this whole government thing anyway. There are only two parts that anybody has to remember. If it's not constitutional, then you don't do it. If you can't afford it, then you don't do it. Is there anything left? That's my point exactly.
As Robin said, my name is Patrick McGrady. I'm from Aberdeen. Excuse me, the sun is in my eyes. And I came down here today because I heard there was going to be a bunch of people together that care about liberty. And whenever this happens, I like to come out and give my message, all right? They're the reason I'm doing this. Now, I wanted to reiterate something before I get into the meat of my talk here. I won't be too long because we're losing sunlight. But we're not opposed to health care reform. Are we? We're not opposed to health care reform. We're just opposed to the way that it happened.
Right, yeah.
Okay? Not the process necessarily, but the meat and potatoes of it, the unconstitutional mandate for every individual to have to purchase health insurance. You know, Dutch also makes me sad. He makes me sad at the missed opportunities that we've given up as they brought government into every aspect of our lives. Can you think of something that government is not involved in? They regulate food, they regulate automobiles, they regulate workplaces, they regulate every aspect of our lives. It's creeped up on us over time. That makes me sad. It makes me sad that my kids are going to grow up not knowing what it's like to be free in America unless we do something about it. It makes me sad that these kids think that freedom means being responsible to government and not responsible for themselves.
That's right, yeah.
You know, and the third feeling that Dutch inspires me is fear. Dutch makes me scared, okay? I'm scared that in the future my kids will have to pay back debt that we spent today.
It can't be paid back anyway.
I'm scared that liberty isn't as popular as it should be. Everybody should be out here saying liberty is the future, but they're not. Where are they?
Yeah.
American Idol's on.
I'm scared, because American Idol's on, he says. I'm scared that people have come to expect a handout whenever there's a problem, instead of coming back to the message of the day, personal responsibility. You know, and finally, I'm scared to think of what America will look like 10 years from now if we don't do something about it. But all these feelings subside when I see this kind of people. People who are out here today on this beautiful, beautiful April Fool's Day. The anger, the sadness, and the fear, they subside to make way for hope for the future. Hope comes down to one election every year. Who said it? Ronald Reagan said, not very often does a generation have the ability to change the future, and we're in a position to do that. We're in a position to get active and change the future. I'm saying, find a candidate who stands for something that you believe in and help them. It doesn't take a lot of work. You talk to your friends, you talk to your neighbors, you ask for donations for them, but if you don't do it, the political machine will continue, and we will lose in November, and we will lose next November, and we'll lose in November after that. But it just takes a little bit of energy. Get out there, make a difference, and we can take back our country. Thank you very much.
And I'll close saying this. If we desire social change, you have to get involved. Being pissed off isn't enough. Waving flags, waving balloons, it's not enough. The liberals understand this. They understand that it takes effort for an entire lifetime. They've found ways to achieve this, and most of them are getting paid for doing it. If you're serious about making change, you have to be involved.